Shalom, family, shalom. Hopefully everyone is doing wonderful today. All right, family, I want to get into a little discussion dealing with the Bill Cosby sentencing and the Brett Kavanaugh hearing. Let me deal with the Bill Cosby sentencing first. By now, everybody know that Bill Cosby has been sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison, and once he do his at least 3 years, he will be eligible for parole. If he's paroled, he would have to register as a sex offender, and also have to receive counseling 4 times a year. Now, let me give my take up on all that. First and foremost, I'm not saying that the story is not true, that he didn't assault these women. I'm not saying that. But in his conviction of sexual assault, right? let's look at a lot of things, family. Number one, Hollywood. Hollywood has a history of drugs, sex, sexual immoralities too. You know, a lot of that. A lot of groupies. A lot of these groupies, people who are starstruck, they go to Hollywood to get stardom. A lot of them sell their souls, things of that nature. Now, looking at Mr. Bill Cosby, right? You know, he's apparently he's rich, he's popular. You know, this gentleman, he gives a lot to a lot of historical black colleges, universities. You know, he had a very popular sitcom. You know, the man is somewhat conscious of about past, our history in America. You know, he wanted to buy one of the major networks. So again, family, I mean, you know, would I say he was capable of doing committing some kind of sexual assault? Yes, I would say that. Did he do it to these women? The question is, what was the atmosphere? You know, did these women go there and they participated in any kind of drug parties? That should be a question. Have these women? What about their sexual past? Are these women really promiscuous? Are they? You know, again, you know, you have to bring up all these things, because if they brought up who this man is, they should be able to bring up everything about these women. Again, I'm not saying that he's innocent, but again, this where we at, you know. And for our people, you know, we got to realize, you know, everything we do is always magnified. It's always magnified and demonized. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, no matter what we do, historically, we see when there's a situation where a so-called black man, he get caught with drugs, or he do something, you know, commit a robbery or whatever, it's he's a thug, he's a trouble pass, you know, he's a predator, yada yada yada, right? But when it comes down to so-called white people, when they do it, it's, you know, who would suspect him to do things like this here? He was a loving father, or she was a loving mother, or she was a church-going person, or what? I mean, it's always the choice of words, right, that the news would put out for these people. So again, you know, that's where we at. And the reason why I want to bring up the Brett Kavanaugh situation, because a lot of people want to mix this up into the same thing, right? But it's a dog and pony show, family. It's a big dog and pony show. First and foremost, about Mr. Brett Kavanaugh, the little that I know. Again, because I know a little about these people besides what's put out there. You know, number one, this accusation comes when this man was like 17, 18 years old. You know, again, you know, the woman, you know, look at her credibility. You know, she can't remember how she got home. She can't remember, you know, what age it happened. I mean, it's all kind of things. But again, it's there to play on people's emotion. You know, and again, because it's on the heel of the sentence of Mr. Bill Cosby now. So I want you to get, a lot of this stuff is done calculated to play on people's emotions and stuff like that. Now, make no mistake, family. This man, Mr. Kavanaugh, this is a job interview. His job that he have now will not be affected. He will not lose that job. He will not spend one day in prison. This is just a hearing. This is not a trial. But it's used to play on the public's ignorance. You know, to get people in an uproar, to get them upset. You know, disgruntled. Again, to set forward the agenda of what most people who can see all this stuff is what they would call a civil war, an internal war. It's brewing. I just sit back and I watch, because again, you know, if you get caught up in these people's affairs in that bullshit, excuse my language, for those that may get offended. But I mean, they're doing their job. This system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do. You know, there's enough information out there, and people who are figuring it out, they're sitting back there and they're watching the spectacle. They're watching the three-ring circus. You know, it's comical. You know. But for those who don't see it, you know, they're gonna get caught up in the emotions and feelings, and they're gonna lose sight of lose that sight of what's coming over the horizon, the trouble that's looming. You know what I'm saying? The judgment that's coming down the road. So so there's all these distractions. There's always these distractions. I can't tell you when all this chaos, whatever they plan on, I don't know the depths of all this stuff like that, but they're planning something. That's what they do. It's always planning something. But they have to keep the people emotionally distracted. That's why I try to keep my eyes on the Most High as much as possible. You know, looking at Hamashiach, studying our records, making sure that my walk is as close as possible according to the prescribed details of the Bible. You know, so I'm going to get caught up in this foolishness because, again, family, remember the children of Israel wanted to have kings over them. Now you got kings over you. So either you choose to be of this world, or you choose to come back and be of what the Most High has planned for you in the kingdom. With that being said, family, that's my take on it. Peace, love. Shalom.